Okay, yes, I did load this. I wasn't too sure if I did, but I did. And that's what's important. So, what happened last time? Oh, yeah, the conversation where Keiichi completely fumbled, like, had the worst dialogue imaginable with Shion. And then he got called at the end there. And then apparently people were asking about this person's, I don't even know who it was, but apparently the leader. I can't remember the name, but it was one of the 3 big families. There's no way I'd be able to sleep. Oh, this is right after? Or is this the next morning? When she hung up the phone like that, I realized for the first time what kind of situation I was in, as well as the only ally who would support me was. I waited with bated breath for Shion to calm down and call me back. What would I do if the phone rang while I was sound asleep? No matter how long I waited, however, it never... Keiichi, she's not gonna call you. Like, I don't know what to say. After you do that, nobody's gonna want to call you. I don't know what delusion you're living in. It's not happening. Why would she, if anything, you have to call her. Now, it's up to her if she wants to answer you, right? But she is not calling you back. I swear, he's so stupid, man. How is this guy the GOAT? Like, he is so dumb. I still, like, this is genuinely my most hated character in this series so far. I hate him! Hello, Dianea. Exhausted, whenever my mind started to wander, I would jolt awake as though I heard the phone ring. In the end, I brought the cordless phone with me into my futon and went to sleep with it in my arms. Like, he had this major... Nah, dude, trust... I mean, like, I'll have to see, like, you and Surplus talk about it, but I really hate this guy. I hate him so... Get to episode 700! Let's go! That's the classic. You know what, though? But I am someone who says that, so... I mean, obviously not episode 700, but I am the person that says, like, yo, wait. For One Piece, it does become peak. It is the equivalent of, yeah. But, like, you know, it remains to be seen. And for now, I will just hate this guy. Maybe later this year, we'll see. Though it still didn't amount to anything. Morning came, and by that time, I was pretty sure she wasn't calling back. Yes! What would you... I can't. I would punch this guy. Like, seriously. I'm not a physically violent person, but I've never wanted to punch someone more in my life than Keiichi. That was when a fierce drowsiness assailed me. I slapped myself in the face a few times. Then I went to the washroom and washed my face, which was something I usually didn't do. That wasn't enough either, so I even brushed my teeth. After that, I was finally wide awake. What'd you do today, Dianea? Did you and Surplus get through more Umineko? When Mom saw how strange I was acting, her eyes went wide.
どうしたの、ケイイチ? 今日はどこかにお出かけでもするの?
学校に。
Okay, that was a interesting cut. Yet a school. That, like, why was that so ominous? What? Rena? What are you doing there? I saw you in the darkness. What happened there? Rena is in my pitch black void. Like episode 1 and currently 2, Battler more than chapter 1 to... Wait, what? Oh, I like episode 1 and currently 2. Okay. Okay. I see. Okay. Battler is the main character for Umineko. Yes, I forgot about that. Such an interesting name, Battler. I mean, yeah, to be honest though, it is a pretty low bar to reach. For Keiichi.
やっぱり風邪かな?
風邪じゃなくて寝不足なんだ。
But that's good that you're enjoying the MC more.
寝ぼけてわけのわかんないことを言い
They
出し
all
た
have weird names.
Foro
What are some
よろしくな。
interesting names that you, I guess, don't spoil anything?
ケイチくん、寝ぼけたらどんなこと喋り出すのかなちょっと楽しみかも。はう。
I felt utterly shattered, and I still hadn't picked myself back up this morning. And for precisely that reason, Rena's honest smile was a sight for sore eyes.
よ、
Oh, she is not looking good at all. Did she also not
ケイ
sleep?
ちゃんにレナ。おはよ
あれれみーちゃんもなんだか寝不足な感じだよ。
Yeah, okay.
よ
Because they were spending all night looking for whoever that guy was. I can't remember his name. But it was one of the leaders of the top 3 families. For Japan, Battler, Beatrice, George. Oh, okay, yeah. None of them are really Japanese names. Battler and Rudolph definitely, I think, are the weirder ones. Beatrice, George, and Maria. I guess maybe, at least from what I understand from Umineko, it doesn't. I mean, does it take place in Japan? Because I thought it was like not an international thing. At least from what I could tell, it seemed like it did not even take place on this planet or whatever. It does, yes. Oh, really? Okay. Mion had gone home early yesterday with a hangover, but she didn't look too good this morning either. They're all Japanese. Interesting, I see. Not on this planet? Well, I don't know. Like what I mean is not in this... How do you say? Like, Higurashi is a story that looks like it takes place in this universe. Like, it could take place. Like, obviously, like, there's a bunch of supernatural things. It doesn't actually. But it looks like it could take place in this universe. Like, in our world. But Umineko seems like something that, I don't know, just things looked strange. Maybe that's just, like, how I was looking at things, you know, with my limited knowledge. But that's just how it looked like. It didn't seem that it took place in, like, the normal world, if that makes sense. Her usual cheerfulness was completely buried in shadow.
うん。寝たの3時ぐらいだからね。眠い。
3時？昨日に続いてか？おいおい。夜更かしにも限度ってもんがあるぞ。
Interesting. I mean, it's not a theory. I don't even have any information on anything. It's just what I thought of from just the very limited, like, less than 5 minutes footage I've seen of Umineko.
大方、漫画の単行本が面白くなっちゃって、一巻から読破してしまったんだろ。
They're all Martians, yep. That is exactly what I was thinking. It's the same thing. Wait a second. What if Higurashi actually takes place on Mars, right? That way, Rika and Satoko, being Martians, can be the same person, right? Because Martians have different, like, makeup than humans. Wait a second. And it's connected to, like, you know, Higurashi and Umineko are connected by being on the same planet. And they take place at the same time. Holy wait, I think I just solved it.
うんうん。俺にも経験があるぞ。
I joked, trying to shake off my sleepiness. I was trying to be considerate. They'd be connected if they were both on Earth, though? Yes, yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that one. Well, now they're connected on Mars. And I think that's cooler. What about that one? However, neither Mion nor Rena smiled. In fact, they didn't even pay attention. Rena's expression immediately darkened.
あれひょっとして村長さんのことまだ見つかってないの？
うん。
Oh yeah, the mayor, that's who he was.
おい、ちょっと待ってくれ。村長さんが見つかってないって、何の話だ？
Even though the classroom, which was normally bursting with bright, joking voices, seemed filled with a different sort of murmur today.
おはようございます、ケイチさん。
I saw another streamer pretty deep into Higurashi and have a whole ass MS Paint diagram of theories and connections with equally as absurd things as you. I'm glad to know the absurd things don't stop even as you get further into Higurashi. The MS Paint things is crazy though. Like, I feel you can't do an MS Paint diagram for these things because it's literally gonna look like, you know how those detectives that look like they're going insane in movies when they like just start putting stuff on the wall and all that? I feel like that's what would happen if you tried to MS Paint this. At least a document is somewhat more structured, but I feel it has, like, it doesn't give off the same insanity feeling as MS Painting something, but it's probably, the information stored in there is equally as insane sounding.
聞きました？なんだか大変なことになりましたわね。
俺はその村長さんって人をよく知らないんだが、
Yeah, we don't know
じじいなんだ
anything
ろ？
about this mayor other than the call last night.
ボケて徘徊してるだけじゃないのか？
村長さんはボケてなんかいませんですわ。お習字も教えるし、剣道も教える、はつらつな方でございますの。僕と同じで、きっとどこかで迷子なのですよ。
Do you get lost, Rika, a lot?
迷子いい
How is that cute, Rena?
お持ち帰り
Like, Satoko I can kind of understand, right? Because when you found her, she was crying, but that's not the lost thing being cute itself. It's finding the lost. Okay, whatever. I don't know. Getting lost is only cute because children like Rika-chan do it. A worn-out old man getting lost isn't moe in the slightest. Slurpus and I are taking a few days. Really? I feel like you didn't take any breaks when you were playing Higurashi. Is there any reason why it's more like Umineko burns you out more? While my mind entertained dumb thoughts like that, our teacher arrived. Everyone rushed to their seats.
皆さん、おはようございます。
We have about 26 hours and we started on the 3rd. It's basically just an entire day of just playing Umineko. But it's just, I guess you can see your hours better because it's not split up along 8 Steam games. It's separate into 2, right? The questions and answers. So you can better see your hours. Like, you don't need to go, like, you have more of a visual. So it'll be interesting to see once you guys are done the questions how far along you guys are. How many hours it took. Good morning. The class greeting was normal, but the atmosphere in the room was heavy.
すでに聞いている方もいるかもしれませんが、昨日の夜、村長さんが夜遅くになってもお家に帰ってこなかったのだそうです。
So, why does everybody know? I feel like, it feels like Keiichi's the only one in the dark. Like, yes, he got the call last night. And he just doesn't have a connection to the mayor, but I feel like everyone already knew that the mayor still was not found. Whereas Keiichi had to be told by Mion.
皆さんの中で、昨日村長さんを見た人はいますか？
One or two hands went up in the silence, and they told her about having seen him. None of it seemed to be vital information, however, and everyone began whispering amongst
もしも
themselves.
村長さんを見かけた人は、大人の人に教えてあげてくださいね。それでは授業を始めます。
After that, the same old lessons began. There's already certain things that only have proper if you're done I guess Umineko is just the more popular one. So it's like, you know, it's the same thing, like people who start JoJo sometimes will skip the first season and go straight into part 3. You know, they'll skip parts 1 and 2, go straight into part 3. Which, it's just like that, I guess. Some things people will just skip. Same thing with Persona. It's like people will go into Persona 3 rather than do 4 and 5. But for that, I guess is different because Persona 1 and 2 don't have remakes and they're really, really old games. So it's just certain things that people, you know, just do. I still, what is it, like, before you and Surplus started talking about Higurashi, Higurashi was a name I heard before. Higurashi when they cry. But I've never heard Umineko when they cry. I knew nothing about, like, either, but I at least heard the name Higurashi, so I don't know what that means. They aren't connected story-wise, but certain things. Interesting. Do they, like, just put references to stuff? Hi, Ruben. The rumors, once quieted, blossomed in flowers again at lunchtime. I could hear a few different conversations. They were mostly related to the mayor's disappearance. Summing them all up, I came out with this. Yesterday evening, the mayor went to a meeting at the Shrine's Assembly Hall. How are you doing, Ruben? More yard work today? Umineko isn't really brought up in anime space because the anime adaptation isn't finished and is notoriously bad. Worse than the Higurashi adaptation? The meeting ended after the sun had fully set and everyone left. Just chill today? That's good. That's nice to have a chill day. They only did questions arc for Umi. Okay. And I'm guessing they obviously never touched Seconia. Does it just, like, yeah, I think I asked this before, but did it just not do well enough to make the answers arc? They just gave up? Okay. What was the studio that made the Umineko anime? Like, is it something that they still make anime to this day? Yeah, Umineko's anime was trashing you from episode 1. Okay. Not sure. Alright. Same studios. Well, which one was Higurashi's? Like, is it, like, do they, I guess what I want to ask is, do they still make anime now? And they, like, actually just dropped it, or did they just stop making anime entirely? The elder's house was a bit far from the center of Hinamizawa. It was already late, and Hinamizawa doesn't have a lot of lights outside. Nobody saw the mayor after the meeting. However, because he would have been hungry... I wonder if the mayor is going to be the one who disappears. Rather than Keiichi and Shion. However, because he would have been hungry, he wouldn't have taken any side trips. He would have gone straight home. However, no matter how long his family waited... Dean, yeah, they still make anime, although not as much as before, apparently. Okay. Is there anything that they made recently that I would know, or nothing really? Can't really talk about horror anime and not bring it up, you know. That's fair. That's fair. He never returned. Some thought there might have been an accident. They left no stone unturned. They searched from the irrigation channels to the water wells, and even the rice paddies, but they didn't find him. They did the first 2 seasons. Oh, okay. Oh, so it's pretty decently, like, the fact that they made the first 2 seasons of Konosuba has to mean that it's somewhat big. Of course, there was a limit to how far they could search in the middle of the night. The police were going to wait for daylight, then have the young men of the town help search. If, after all, they still didn't find him, they were apparently even going to look into the mountains. Or they were apparently going to go looking in the mountains. Even now, at this moment, the adults were probably all searching for him. The more they searched in vain, and the more time passed, the only thing that came to mind was the curse. The rumors of Onikakushi, of the demoning away. There's a complete manga adaptation of both, though. I know you said you plan to read the manga adaptation of Higurashi. Do you plan to do the same with Umineko? They also did the Fate Stay Night series. Oh, so they've done some big ones, then. Surprised they don't make as much anymore. Most likely, sounds good. Had he become this year's sacrifice to Oyashiro-sama's curse, which had recently been occurring every year? That scary possibility, which everybody thought about, but nobody could say out loud, was slowly but surely spreading throughout the village. Was he demoned away and offered as a sacrifice to quell Oyashiro-sama's anger? My classmates were whispering to each other that the curse didn't happen this year, so there shouldn't have been any sacrifices. I, on the other hand, I knew. The curse did happen again this year, and there were 2 people that died. This may sound strange, but I hadn't exactly thought the elder would be the one to go missing. My reason was clear. Shion and I should have been a higher priority than him. The 4 of us were thieves that broke the taboo and set foot into the secret ritual storehouse. If Tomitake-san and Takano-san had suffered mysterious deaths, then it should have been Mai and Shion's turn next.
今度こそ、俺かシオンの番なのに。
Did you say that out loud, Keiichi? Yeah, another moment to punch him in the face, if that's the case. Like, I'm the voice in Keiichi's head. That's gonna be, like, the self-deprecating one. That, like, literally just... Like, Keiichi, what are you doing? Higurashi, man, I know you've sent some artwork, I think, before, right? Like the ones covering the two, like Rena when she like yells her "Usoda" line, the classic. I'm pretty sure you sent that. Those are the two series I know aside from Higurashi Umineko that Dean has done. Okay, I was looking at specifically Umineko's manga of episode 8 is 16 highest rated out of any manga on that site. It means something. That is really good then. Wow. I didn't know it was that high. That definitely means something then. Finished my Monster fan trailer a couple days ago. How did it turn out? Are you happy with it? I laughed painfully to myself. And apparently the visual novel is better, so perfect. I'd yelled at Shion over the phone that I didn't want to end up in such a terrifying situation, but now that someone other than me had disappeared, I could only think that I should have been the first to go. Watanagashi, the bottomless swamp said to have been the place where they drowned sacrifices long ago. Just as it ran through my thoughts, the villagers must have also considered the swamp. Maybe police divers were plumbing its depths even now. Excuse me. They probably wouldn't find anyone. Not a single missing person had ever been found. They'd always suspected Onigafuchi, but not once had they ever turned up a corpse from it. Well, yeah, I'm always willing to look at it, Ruben, if you do want to send it. I know, I mean, Monster is like a classic. So it's one that, like, the same thing as Diana mentioned about horror anime. Monster is one that is brought up a lot, I'm pretty sure. After all, it was a devilish, bottomless swamp from which no one who sinks can ever return. I could hear someone telling their friend that in the classroom.
そういえば、サトシさんがいなくなったのも去年の今頃だったね。
Yeah, Keiichi still doesn't know about Satoshi. Huh? Satoshi? I've heard that name before. He was... right, he disappeared because of last year's curse. The conversation was happening in the seat next to me, so I could hear it clearly.
サトシさんの時も確かこんな風に村中で探したんじゃなかったっけ？
あれも見つからなかったんだよね。
It's funny that Umineko runs on both sides of the spectrum in their respective fields and was one of the best visual novels ever made and the worst anime. Really? Is it that bad? That bad of an anime? Like, I mean, is it considered the worst? I know Berserk is up there as like a really bad anime adaptation as well. Like, it's not good at all. Or I guess the after. It is that bad. Damn, okay.
あれって結局どうなったんだっけ？確か鬼隠しじゃなかったんだよね。
うん。貯金を全部下ろして家出しちゃったんだって聞いたよ。警察の人が名古屋駅で新幹線に乗るところを見た人がいるとか言ってたもん。
Oh, he ran away? Ran away, huh? I wasn't that interested in the reasoning, which seemed understandable in this case. Everyone else who disappeared had their own reasons too. Either they were still on the run because they were criminals, or they were a corpse that couldn't be found. It's not like any of them suddenly disappeared into thin air for no reason, but they disappeared. Someone disappearing whenever the curse took a life, as if by design. They may have had various understandable reasons, but they still disappeared. So, Keiichi's not gonna find the stuff about, like, last time he got the baseball bat and like started defending himself, like how started practicing a swing like how Satoshi did. And Rena was saying like, "Oh, you're doing the exact same thing as Satoshi." So I don't think he's gonna be doing it this time though. I don't even know what this is. If this is like an alternate universe, or somehow the time reversed and it's just playing from the beginning, or something else entirely. But he's not doing it this time, it seems. Pacing and content were so horribly used. I guess, like, knowing of how it is going to be used, or how it should have been used, like, at its best, and seeing how it's done probably takes away from it, definitely. From that point of view, it might have been a demoning away this time. The mayor's disappearance was the first such incident without a clear reason behind it. Of course, coming to that realization didn't help to resolve anything.
今日は味の加減を間違えちゃったみたいだね。 ごめん。
Normally, Urena's lunch would have been devoured immediately, but today there was still a ton left. That wasn't because Urena's lunch didn't taste good or anything, though.
そんなことありませんのよ。レナさんのお弁当は今日もとっても美味でしたよ。
Satoko dips her chopsticks into Urena's bento box and pulls bits of food out one after the other.
おいしいおいしい。今日も格別でしたよ。あれそれかぼちゃのコロッケだ
That
よ。
sounds good. Pumpkin
大
croquettes.
丈夫？レナさんのかぼちゃならとっても美味しいですわ。
Oh, yes. Doesn't she not like vegetables? Isn't that the thing? Did Satoko dislike pumpkin? Regardless, she forced herself to smile and shove more into her mouth. Or maybe that's like some thing that we're going to use in the future. That Satoko's going to be like chasing after us and we throw pumpkins at her. Maybe that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Halloween and then we're going to have pumpkins around and Satoko's going to be like on all fours, like sprinting towards us. And then we're going to like throw pumpkins at her and then she's going to run away. That's what's going to happen. The visual novels are criticized for being so long and slow, whereas the anime is too fast. I guess the thing about having a fast one is that, like, you know, like a fast, like the anime being fast, is that it gets the content very quickly, so people don't lose interest, whereas if it's too slow, people will lose interest, are more likely to lose interest before you get to the interesting parts. So it's a kind of coin flip. But if you know it's gonna get good, or like are for some reason just like dead set on doing it, then you're probably gonna get something overall better than something that is a quote unquote normal pace. Everyone knew nobody's lunch tasted very good today. Satoko kept shoveling it down, repeating her remarks on how good it was.
そんなにうまいなら、俺もいただかないとな。このままじゃ全部サトコに食われちまう。
あんまりにも美味しいので、ぜひケイチさんにも召し上がってほしいですわね。
たまには俺も年上らしい寛大さを見せないとな。よし、遠慮するな。今日は俺の分まで食ってよし。
Oh, and now she's crying. She really, really hated pumpkin, didn't she? Is that really why she's crying? That made it all the more touching to see Satoko's own brand of generosity. I grabbed her head and started stroking it. There's no way she's crying about the pumpkin. I'm sorry, but I feel like the fact that it's so heavy, like the atmosphere is so heavy, like it cannot be she's crying about the pumpkin. I mean, it's normal time for me, for stream. What time? How are you at school? What time is it for you, Z? How are you doing? Satoko, in a somewhat exaggerated fashion, was bawling, tears streaming down her face.
嘘だよ。そんなにうまいものを譲るほど大人にはなれないよ。レナも食え。俺のは夕べのおでんの残り物だが、おでんは一晩経ってからがうまいんだぜ。
12:14 p.m.? Oh. Wait, if you don't mind me asking, where are you, Z? Like, where, like, or what region? Are you in, Europe? Or somewhere else? 12:14 p.m. That's I don't know what time that would be. Southeast Asia. Oh, damn. Okay. Didn't expect that. Have you seen Monster, though? No, I have not seen Monster. Because I was thinking it would be Asia, but I didn't think it would be... Yeah, Southeast Asia makes sense. It's pretty cool.
Mm. お大根が綺麗な色に透き通ってて美味しそう。じゃあ、いただこうかな。
Yeah, the thing about the anime going too fast, getting to the good parts on a payoff because the setup were all cut severely. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, I feel people who would be interested in that, like they're trying to get to the good parts so it stays in, like, people stay interested in it, but then it's not, you know, people don't actually get invested in it in the first place. You expect me being like, I didn't know, like, you mean before you said your time zone? I just thought you were in the US or something. But then when you said the time zone, I really didn't know. I didn't think it would be Europe because I was like, because, you know, that's not Europe's time. That's still too early. But Southeast Asia, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. You were thinking Europe. I was thinking Europe initially. I was thinking, I mean, yeah, I just explained my thought process. You can, I think, discern what I was trying to say from that. Condensing chapter 1 into 4 episodes, it doesn't work. Yeah, fair. The globe is not all US. The thing is, people who usually come on stream at this time are the US, are people from North America. I say that, and then Ruben's also in Oceania, but most of the people who come here in this time zone are gonna be from North America. I'm not in the US, but I'm in North America. Hi, Mob. Are you back? You back from your trip? There was only at our desks, however. Yeah, I just got home. Nice. How was it? The dark tales of Oyashiro-sama's curse, which had recurred for 5 years in a row, didn't cease. The whole class remained stuck in this somber mood. I think I'm the only American here. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm originally from, I mean, yeah, I've explained this many times, but I think some people wouldn't know. I'm originally from Trinidad and Tobago, which is in the Caribbean. That's where I'm from, but I currently live in Canada. Actually, no, Mob lives in the US. The dark tales of Oyashiro-sama's curse, which had recurred for 5 years in a row, didn't. Yeah, okay, I did read this. Oyashiro-sama's curse had happened for 5 years straight. Everyone had wanted the previous year to be the last. What was Oyashiro-sama's curse anyway? One of my teachers retired? Well, that must have been a very loved teacher then. That's cool. What, I mean, you know, what did everyone like about that teacher? With Higurashi condensing chapter 1 into 4 episodes can work. There isn't much to expand on. We don't get... Yeah! The thing is with Higurashi chapter 1 is that there's a lot of slice of life stuff that happens. So you can kind of do... You could probably do, like, half a chapter of slice of life stuff, or like half an episode of slice of life stuff, or maybe even a full episode of slice of life stuff, and then the rest of chapter 1 is just, yeah. She is, that's great. I mean, I guess it was great. What did she teach? Or was she just a homeroom teacher, or what exactly? But I mean, I'm sure that's a teacher's greatest dream, to be cared about by their students that much. They're going to build a dam in Hinamizawa. To be honest, that's the only time I cried in school. Must have been a teacher that had a big impact. I'm sure that she's done great things, and I'm sure that the people she has affected will continue to do great stuff. Is she just she's just done teaching, or is she leaving the school? The people building it were bad. So they were cursed. I would admit that much. Still, the dam project was frozen years ago, wasn't it? So why was the curse stubbornly persisting? I hit myself on the cheeks to perk myself back up. Everyone was trying so hard to brighten the mood, I couldn't go straight back to thinking about the curse like that. She teaches Arabic? Well, that's pretty cool. Was there a lot of people taking Arabic, or was she just known for other reasons? She's retired, she's old now, twin. Well, some people, even if they're old, continue teaching and stuff. Some people just, don't. Like, I know a teacher, he's been the same place for, like, forever, and he still is not retired, no matter how old he gets. So, yeah. Driving Oyashiro-sama's curse out of my thoughts was actually a good idea. In the end, that means I would also be driving away the most terrifying thought of all, that I could be the curse's next target.
しかし、ミオンは遅いな。
She's now 71.
あいつのお手洗いって。
That is pretty old then, yeah. That is, okay, she has definitely gone past the retirement age, like, by a lot. So, 71, yeah, that is, she definitely should not be going anymore. I cried because I snitched myself in first grade once. What did you snitch on yourself? What did you do to snitch on yourself for? There we go. Mion had said she was going to wash her hands and left, and she hadn't come back yet.
多分、どっかでお昼寝してるんだと思う。
That would be a hell of a detour to go wash your hands. So I'm going to go wash my hands, and then she's taking an afternoon nap somewhere.
昨べは、きっと遅くまで村長さんを探すお手伝いをしてたんだと思うから。
I smiled wryly and let out a sigh. Today was no good. However much we tried to lighten the mood, things always came back to the mayor. It was just a no-good day. I had just transferred here recently, so the shock of a curse happening 5 years running was an imaginably big one. Maybe I do need to appreciate that.
村長さんはね、ちっちゃかった頃、みーちゃんのことをすごく可愛がってくれたんだって。いたずら盛りのみーちゃんをすごく可愛がってくれたって。
Wait, so why did you want to tell the teacher that you found, like, why did you tell the teacher that you found it then? And why did she okay, to be honest though, it's also the teacher's fault, because why did they say to throw it out? I'm sorry, if you see a Lego gun here, why are you throwing that out?
よく話してたな。
I see. Mion was in shock too. Someone disappearing at all because of a curse was a very scary thing. If the sacrifice was someone you knew, though, then the shock must be 100 times worse. Satoko, as if she'd come to the same conclusion, bit her lower lip and looked
そういえ
downwards.
ば、リカちゃんも遅いな。ひょっとして、リカちゃんも仲良くお昼寝か？
リカはそんなに遅くまではお付き合いしませんでしたわ。
It was a tiny little thing, not even a built structure. Oh, like one of those tiny guns that you add to those minifigures, like that? Like the guns that you put on, that you equip the figures for?
リカがあくびをしたら、皆さんみんなして、おやすみなさいませ、おやすみなさいませって。
So Z, was there a celebration for the teacher? Yup. So wait, why'd you just bring the gun to school then, and not any other Lego things? Now that she mentioned it, there were a lot of old people rubbing their prayer beads in fervent gratitude towards Rika-chan during the festival too. An image of the indulgent elderly came to mind. Had Rika-chan discovered a way to get herself to be pampered like
リカ
that?
ちゃんって、何気に年寄りのアイドルだな。理想の孫娘像ってやつなのか？
そんなの知らない。でも、リカちゃんのあくびなら見てみたい。きっとね、ぽーって。
Is that how a yawn sounds?
そんなに可愛いとも思いませんけど。
Being weird.
喉の奥まで覗けるくらいの大あくびでしたよ。リカちゃんの大あくび。
In kindergarten, I went around telling kids they had a skeleton inside them. That is an evil thing to do. How do you feel about that, Dianea? Does that keep you awake at night? Are you realize of what a monster you are? You probably made many kids cry because of that. Rena's handy at times like these. I finally managed a heartfelt laugh. Oh, right. I'm on date duty today, aren't I? I need to go water the flower garden. The garden is right outside the teacher's lounge too, so they can immediately tell you if you don't do it right.
リカちゃんのだけじゃなく、さとこちゃんのも可愛いと思うわ。大あくび。
What are you saying, Rena?
窒息。チラッと見えた。可愛いの見えた。さとこちゃんのあくびも可愛い。お持ち帰り。
What are you even saying? Rena was strangling Satoko. I don't think that counts as yawning. You know, Rena is... I can't say it out loud, but she's notorious... What? I have no clue what she's trying to say. Or what Keiichi's trying to say here. I started playing Legend of Galactic Heroes today. I have not heard of it. What is it similar to? Or like, what is the gameplay consist of? Is it an MMO or is it like a strategy? What type of game is it? Hearing Satoko make a weird noise like a chicken being strangled was kind of hilarious. I couldn't help but laugh. At some point, the classroom had erupted into laughter too. Maybe Irena was doing it on purpose. Even if she wasn't, the nonsense was a welcome sight. Oh. Legend of Galactic Heroes. Sorry, it just sounds like a game. Galactic Heroes. Oh, it's like an old one. I've not heard of it. I've heard it's one of the best written anime. Really? Wow. I've never heard of it before. What is it? What is it about? Let's get over to the flowers while I still have time. Slowly and quietly, lest I destroy the room's newfound peace, I left the classroom. The watering can was hanging up outside the kitchen. This building had originally been an all-male forestry service building, so there was apparently nothing so thoughtful as a garden here before. What's a space opera? I've never heard that term before. When they decided to have a school share the space, they built one there as a modest gesture of appreciation. They do glaze things online, but, I mean, people don't say things... I mean, no, that is true. I was gonna say people don't say things for no reason, so there's probably some truth for it, but no, people say a lot of things for no reason, so it could entirely be wrong, but... You know, Star Wars, that's a space... But what is the definition of a space opera? Like, a space drama? Like, a drama that takes place in space? Or like, what is a space opera? Because, I mean, Star Wars counts as a drama? I don't think so. When they decided to have a school share the space, they built one there as a modest gesture of appreciation. But, well, the flower bed, it was a little longer than you'd expect. It went all around. It went all over the place. It was so big, one would need to refill the watering can 5 or 6. Okay. At least it wasn't one number in addition, because then we'd have a problem there, Higurashi. Have to refill the watering can 5 or 6 times to get it all done. I was doing this together with a kid who was also, thankfully, on day duty. She was in the lowest grade, though, and a full size smaller than even Rika-chan. I couldn't make a kid who would struggle just to lift the full watering can help me with this. If you were placed on day duty with someone who liked this sort of thing, they do it all for you, so it'd be cake.
悪態をついても仕方ないな。諦めて仕事を始めるか。
Watering can in hand, just as I was about to leave the building, the old man from the forestry office addressed me.
兄ちゃん、倉庫裏に菜園があるだろ。だいぶくたびれかけったぞ。あそこにも水をやってあげな。
カレー菜園ですか？じゃがいもとか人参とか、カレーの具しか栽培してないっていう。
That's a cool garden to have at school. It's definitely the personal garden of our curry-loving teacher, but making students responsible for its upkeep is getting them involved in her personal affairs. I couldn't say that to her face, though, so I gave up and decided to carry out my day duties. Is he gonna find, like, the body of the mayor or something? The sunlight out front was strong. A space opera is a novel, film, or television program set in outer space, typically of a simplistic and... Okay, yeah, so it is a space drama, basically. Why does it have a special name, though? I guess no, because you have, like, soap operas. That's also another thing. So yeah, maybe people just classify stuff as operas if it's, like, drama-related. The great chorus of cicadas was strongly underlining how nothing was different today than yesterday. I passed by the classroom, and I don't know how it happened, but Rena and Satoko were in the middle of a huge melee. While I was gone, the kids had arranged all the desks in a circle, forming a ring while everyone was... What? They're, like, literally brawling it out? Yeah, that's how it should be. Once school ended, we would need to return to reality, where talk of the elder's disappearance would once again be all over the place. I wanted everyone to forget about everything and have fun, just like yesterday. If only while they were at school. In that sense, Satoko's whirling elbow and Rena's backwards flying spin kick made for pleasance. They're just... literally... They're just martial artists. Like, what can I say? So, wait, where's the classroom exactly? Is it here? Is here where the classroom is? Or is it over this way? It's not a very big thing. Also. Even if, as a result, they flipped over my desk. That's my pencil box. I'll just let it happen for today. I set to work hastily watering everything, wanting nothing more than to be done as soon as possible. That should about do it. No sooner had I thought that than I remembered that I had to water the teacher's curry vegetable garden too.
めんどくさいが、やらないと、後で色々と不利益なことがありそうな気がする。
I gave up, filled the can with water again, and headed behind the warehouse. Street Fighter stage. Yeah, wait, with the people chanting in the background? That's pretty cool. I like that. This was a place students didn't like to go. It was always damp here, and you couldn't discard the possibility of slugs and pillbugs being around. So when I ran across her in a place like that, I was surprised.
リカちゃんか。驚かせるなよ。
Rika-chan was just standing there, like a puppet, devoid of life. I was the only one who was startled here. Rika-chan didn't even seem to react to my appearance.
リカちゃん
Finally, she noticed me. Her expression was clearly abnormal. There was red under her eyes, stained with tears and dirt. There were blades of grass stuck in her hair too, and her clothes looked like she would fall into the
リカ
ground.
ちゃんひょっとして、怪我したのか転んだとか
違うのですよ。違うのです。
Rika-chan said in the brightest voice she could manage as she rubbed her eyes. She didn't look anywhere near normal,
何
though.
があったんだまさか倉庫の屋根の上で昼寝とかしてて、落ちたとか
僕のことはいいのです。それよりも、圭一に聞きたいことがあるのです。
Is she gonna ask me something about the dance? I hope not. Rika-chan walked over and clung to me. At first I thought she was playing a trick on me. Eventually, however, I realized it was so I wouldn't run from the question she was about to ask. I shuddered.
俺に、なんだよ
She looked straight into my eyes. Her upturned eyes bored right into me. It was as though they were trying to pull the answer out from my own eyes without asking me the question. It was scary, so I averted my eyes from hers.
圭一、お祭りの晩に何か悪いことをしましたか？
My body gave a jolt from its very core. Rika-chan, who was clinging to me, might have felt my shiver. A nervous tingle crawled up from my feet, and after going up my back and freezing my entire body, it made its way into my brain.
圭一、本当に覚えはありませんか？
My head began to throb. I don't understand anything. Neon asked me. Ueshi-san asked me. Shion asked me. Now Rika-chan was asking me. Okay! Keiichi, you cannot include Shion into this. She was there. Why are you including Shion as like, this was a bit like huge revelation. She was there. Whatever. We thought nobody knew about what we did last night, but in fact, everyone knew? They all knew. And they came to ask me. Again and again, until I admitted it. When I thought about it, it was pretty clear the whole thing was out in the open. After all, don't Tomitake-san and Takano-san's death prove it?
圭一、
How should I respond? I never should have entered the Forbidden Storehouse, and even though I regretted it so much, was she saying it wasn't enough? However, I had all but decided what I was going to say.
俺もそこが悪いからな。悪いことの覚えが多すぎて見当がつかないよ。
Just as I had with all the others, I evaded the question. Okay. If you didn't stall for that long, this is definitely the best lie you would have told. Because it's like, not exactly telling the, like, truth, but it's also not completely lying. If he didn't pause for like 10 years before asking it. Her eyes were so painful that I had to look away. After a few moments of mutual silence, Rika-chan released me.
変なことを聞いてごめんなさいなのです。忘れてくださいなのですよ。
She said, smiling her usual smile. Then, tap, 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 tap. She went running off, as if nothing had happened. As she retreated in silence, I could feel her accusing me.
リカちゃん
If she didn't hear my voice, then I was going to give up. However, she heard it. Rika-chan swiveled around and waited for me to continue. I was the one who had questions now. Still, asking any of them could just be a half-assed way of admitting what I did.
なあ、リカちゃん。
はいなのです。
If everyone knows anyway, then I should be able to at least ask this, right? Why is everyone asking about the night of the festival? That evening, had I done something that wrong? I felt plenty sorry about it, and I only looked anyway. I didn't break anything or steal anything. Really? Still, Tomitake-san and Takano-san, they died so miserably. Since those two had come to such an end, there's obviously nowhere way it would forgive only me. Rika-chan cutely tilted her head in confusion and waited for me to say something. You could... Okay. I don't think this is giving away anything, but I feel you should just say, why do you ask? Like, why do you ask, you know? Because that way he's not making a generalization to anyone. He's like just asking, why are you asking me that question? Like, if there's any reason. Of course, she doesn't need to answer that. In fact, because you evaded the question, she'll probably evade the question herself. But still, I feel like that's a fair question to ask. Apologies in advance for massive text. No, don't worry. If I were to admit what happened last night, though, she might suddenly do a 180 as if flipping a switch. Oh, how do you know, Keiichi? That would make sense. Rika-chan was the shrine maiden. She was the least likely to forgive me for breaking the taboo, wasn't she? Upon reflection, wouldn't telling her be more terrifying than telling Mion or Oishi-san? Rika-chan could just give up and leave, couldn't she? She didn't. She only was quietly waiting for me to say it myself. Say it, Keiichi Maebara. If you really are sorry, then you should say so. Of course, it's normal to hesitate given the crazy way Tomitake-san and Takano-san died. A pulping machine called Chaos was grinding up in my brain. The juice wrung out of it turned into big droplets of sweat, which began to fall. Rika-chan suddenly straightened up, trying to pat me on the head.
圭一が何を悩んでいるのか、僕にはよくわからないのです。
I had nothing to say to that. I lowered my head a little so that Rika-chan's palm could reach it. She petted me, kind of like one would a cat.
境内の裏を少し行ったところに大きな倉庫があるのをご存知ですか?
Ooh. Wait, she's just calling it out, like, by name. Legend of Galactic Heroes, an epic, okay. Focusing on the... Okay, AI overview synopsis. Thank you, AI overview. You could tell it's kind of like an AI overview because of its vagueness and the way it's written. Pretty cool, though. It definitely seems, you know, it's like kingdoms fighting, except it's space. Pretty cool. Very interesting.
西宮殿と言いますです。
My breath literally stopped. Rika-chan, though, wasn't acting in a coercive way at all.
お祭りの晩、その西宮殿に猫さんが入り込んだのだそうです。
猫？
はい、猫さんです。にゃーにゃーなのです。
Rika-chan knew. She realized I was in fear. I could tell she was desperately trying to choose the right words so she wouldn't scare me.
猫さんは前から西宮殿の中を探検してみたいと思っていました。でも僕が意地悪をして中を見せてあげなかったのです。なので祭りの夜、猫さんは我慢できなくなって中に入ってみましたのです。
Oh, that was Takano. The cat. It was clearly supposed to be Takano-san. Wait, was it supposed to be me? No, it couldn't be because you didn't want to, like... Yeah, you didn't want to go.
実は中には猫さんが怖がるものがたくさんあったのです。
Rika-chan made a cute gesture like a ghost was coming out to frighten me.
猫さんはびっくり仰天。 一目散に逃げ出して、ガタガタブルブル、ニャーニャーで大変なのです。
その猫が、誰だって言うんだ。
猫さんは猫さんです。
Yep. I don't know what type of question that you think that was trying to solve, Keiichi. It's what do you call prestige television or pretensions? I have no idea yet. I just watched the first episode and it seems very good so far. Oh really? From the first episode? That's cool. But you're usually a fan of like horror stuff though, right? Or I mean, I guess no, you like a bunch of different things, but what made you want to start watching that one?
にゃーにゃー。
Rika-chan still avoided saying it. The cat though was it?
リカちゃん。
I mean, the cat was both terrified and amazed. Like, as fast as it, I guess, yeah, that's true. But why did she say this though? Always wanted to explore the inside of the storehouse? Keiichi had no desire. He was just brought. Unless that's Shion. Because Shion and him left at the same time.
頼む。教えてくれ。その猫さんは、これからどうしたらいい？
Maybe it was a desperate question to ask. I sort of admitted to being the cat.
猫さんは猫さんですから、にゃーにゃー泣いてるだけで大丈夫ですよ。
大丈夫って、そんないい加減な。
にゃーにゃー泣いてるだけではダメなのですか？
Jeez, Rika and I have put together an entire conversation using cat as a code word. I didn't say it directly, but I had already admitted it. I didn't want to end up like those two. I didn't want to be a sacrifice, like Shion said. That's what I thought, so I stubbornly remained silent. But now, that's enough.
泣いてるだけじゃダメなんだ。猫さんがいたずら心で忍び込んだのを。
犬さん。
そうだ。犬さんなんだ。猫さんのところへ代わる代わるやってきて、忍び込んだだろうって問いただしてくるんだ。
After I said that, Rika-chan's expression clouded over. She was trying to hide it, but I'd already noticed her eyes darkening.
リカちゃん。
The silence was frightening, so I spurred her on. At that point, Rika-chan grinned.
大丈夫ですよ。猫さんは僕が守ってあげます。
Huh? I thought for a moment that I'd misheard those words, so dependable they were.
猫さんはとても怖がっていますが、本当はそんなに大変なことではないのです。何匹かの犬さんがきっと勘違いしてるだけなのだと思います。
そんなに大変なことじゃないって。
猫さんの心配しすぎなのです。僕がきっと何とかしてあげますですよ。
Rika-chan will do something about it? I don't even know left from right at the moment, so Rika-chan didn't look all that
ちょっ
dependable.
と大変ですけど、頑張りますですよ。ファイト、オーなのです。
She clenched her fist and stuck it in the air. Rika-chan said that the cat can just keep meowing. She said to leave it all to her. Is that really all it took? To resolve this whole thing?
本当にリカちゃんで大丈夫なのか？
僕が頑張らないと、犬さんも大変なことになってしまうかもしれないのです。
I had no idea what Rika-chan was talking about anymore. She had been talking to me under the assumption that I was aware of certain things. So at first I understood her. Around the middle, though, I stopped understanding anything. However, one thing I did know was to not worry and to leave it to her. Rika-chan straightened up once again, patted me on the head, and smiled. I was so moved by that reassuring feeling that I couldn't help but start to cry.
ごめん。猫さんも本当にちょっとしたいたずらのつもりだったんだ。こんなことになるなんて全然。
猫さんは臆病すぎです。だから見せたくなかったのです。
She was right. It was far too shocking for someone to see based on a little bit of interest alone. That's why they made it so difficult to look at in the first place, wasn't it?
リカちゃん、その猫さんは、どうなるんだろう。忍び込んだ2匹の猫さんが、あの晩に。
Very military focused, the politics and battle strategies, because okay. On the writing subreddit, Cool, yeah. Well, let me know how it goes then. If it's that good, like, if it lives up to what the hype is. Also, this is not what I was expecting with Rika. Rika-chan might not have known about it.
富武と高野ですか？
Like, I still think about a lot of what happened in the first chapter. Okay, she just also called them out by names, by the way. But I think about a lot what happened in the first chapter with Mion and Rena and all that. How they always kept saying they want things to go back to normal. But Keiichi's the one that kept escalating things, and he kept escalating things more and more and more. And I have a feeling that that thing that they were trying to give him, I don't know if that drug was the thing that he was talking about him like scratching his throat out. I wonder if it was something to make him forget stuff. And then he just ended up killing them. And then it just got so bad to the point where he needed to be hunted down because of the things that he did. But I don't know. I don't know if it was that bad, like what he did. Like, I don't know if he was going to die there. So I think about that a lot with how they were acting when Keiichi was going like insane mode. And then I also look at Rika here, how she's saying that, oh, don't worry, she seemed genuinely very concerned. And then she says, don't worry, I'll cover it. So I'm interested to see about that. Gave a start at the sudden mention of actual names, though it's weird to do that at this point.
忘れると良いのです。
My spine froze again.
忘れる？
はい。あの二人のことを思い出すことは、圭一にとって良くないことなのです。考えれば考えるほど怖くなるだけです。だから早く忘れた方がいいのです。
She says something so enormously terrifying without letting the smile on her face waver at all.
どこで聞いたかわかりませんが、綺麗さっぱり、お風呂でゴシゴシするみたいに忘れちゃうと良いのですよ。
忘れるって言ったって、リカちゃんは知ってるんだろう？あの二人がどういう死に方を。
Why'd you say it out loud?
どんな死に方をしても、
Oh?
それは、圭一とは関係のないことなのです。
Rika declared this in a flat voice. Nothing to do with me. So forget about it. The girl before me, she was innocent and lovable, and even seemed trustworthy, but suddenly she took on another dimension. Don't get involved with their deaths. I'll help you, Keiichi. Those two contradictory statements twisted and distorted my image of the girl in front of me.
シオンは、あいつはどうなるんだ？
It might have been dangerous to mention Shion's name, but I couldn't stop myself from asking. Rika-chan saw through everything anyway. There was no way I was going to fool her or keep anything from her at this point.
姉妹猫の妹ですか？にゃーにゃー。
そうだ。妹猫だ。
Rika-chan appeared to think upon this for a moment. It was hard for me to endure even this momentary silence.
姉猫は怒ってます。妹猫が悪いことをしたので、とても怒ってます。
姉猫って。
That could only mean Mion. I recall being questioned by her yesterday.
圭一、姉猫はとても機嫌が悪いです。しばらくの間、そっとしてあげてほしいなのです。
Not in a good mood. Those words sent a shiver through me. Mion was mad. She was mad that we entered the ritual
今
storehouse.
日から部活はなしにしましょう。 そっとしてあげてほしいからなのです。
Rika-chan ended her sentence with such force that I couldn't say anything in response. Hey, Keiichi Maebara, don't disobey Rika-chan right now. She's the only one who said she'll help me right now. I'll leave things to her just as she said to. I mean, she even said that the cat should just keep meowing. I'll forget everything, like she said. I'll leave everything to her. I'll forget everything about Takano-san and Tomitake-san and what I did that night. Just then we heard a bell, far away, marking the end of our lunch break.
じゃあ、校舎に戻ろうか。
But you didn't water the plants, Keiichi!
ケイチ、
As if she had noticed how miserable I was, about to leave everything to her and flee the scene, Rika-chan called out to me,
勘
stop me.
違いの犬さんが猫さんに噛みつこうとしたら知らせてくださいね。
The misunderstanding dog? She put it in such a cute sounding way, but the true meaning behind those words was an eerie one.
勘違いの犬さんって、なんだ？
村長を噛んだ犬さんです。どうして村長を噛んだのか、僕にはわかりません。噛むなら、いたずら猫さんを先に噛むはずなのにです。
The flow of blood in my body felt like it completely stopped for a moment. Rika-chan had admitted it. The sacrifices of that terrible calamity, she admitted that if they were to happen again, it would be she or I. This, I didn't know what was true about the girl standing before me. My suspicion gave way to fear and nearly began to change into anger. Was she a savior who would protect me? Or a stranger trying to capture and kill me for the sake of a horrible tradition? I had no idea what was true.
ご
Keiichi?
めんなさいなのです。猫さんが怖がっているのに、また怖がるようなことを言ってしまいました。ごめんなさいなのです。
Rika-chan bowed so quickly that it looked like her head had been pulled downwards. Still, she was right. I was cowering. I could distinctly feel my body shaking violently. So when Rika-chan reached her head out to pat me on the head, I pulled away without thinking.
お、
ごめん。
Rika-chan made a very sad face, but I couldn't bring myself to put out my head for her again. That day, Rika-chan said she wasn't feeling up for club activities, so she suggested we don't bother. There's always vetoes when someone doesn't feel up to it. Then and the other seemed really disappointed. The big sister cat is not in a good mood. I remembered Rika-chan's words and quietly stole a glance at Mion's expression. If I could forget the way she questioned me yesterday, though, her behavior was the same as it always was. So, we still don't know what happened to Rika. Like, why her hair was covered in... Oh, where's my deck of cards for my jokes? Where is it? Oh, where is it? It's gone. This way, I have to find it. I don't know where it is. Did it fall on the ground? Oh, there it is. Why is it on the couch? When did I put it there? Don't lie, you burnt them in everlasting fire. I wouldn't do that, okay? It's a Christmas gift. I wouldn't do that to a Christmas gift. Here. Okay, here. I didn't do this. What do you call a cat who likes to swim? An octopus. Wow. I had to act surprised. What do you mean? What are you trying to say, Daine? Reading them to myself. You're saying that I sit there on the couch and I giggle to myself as I read cat jokes? I'm like, wow, this one's funny. All right, next one. Oh, it's so funny. Oh my gosh, I love the cat jokes. Yeah. Is that what you think I do with my time? They're on the yes, I don't know why they're on the couch. Surely that's not the end, right? Yeah, okay, it's not. After dinner, without the energy to watch TV, I climbed to the futon in my bedroom and let my head be overtaken by gloomy thoughts. I told Rika-chan anything and everything. I mean, that's not a whoops moment, Diana. It's up to you if you want to make it or not. You don't, yeah. Don't worry about it too much. Thought it was really cool you made it last year. It is something that takes like a bunch of time and everything, so don't need to worry about it. She had seemed trustworthy at the time. Can we yes, of course we'll check out your video before the end. But had that really been the right choice? I guess, you know what, Ruben? This is the best time to put it. You're right. This is probably the best time to put it now. Or to watch it now. Let me do that. I could see how she's your goat if that's like her first interaction I've seen with her. Hmm. Wait, what? What is this here? Does this person have like tape on their eyes or something? Oh, maybe it was like they were tortured or something. Okay. Hmm. Wait, what? So it's a lot more like mystery than I thought it was. I thought it was mainly horror. I mean, I guess it is kind of hand in hand, but it seems like a lot more detective work type thing. Hmm. So there are obviously some. I can't tell if this is like, obviously they're talking about the bring back to life, but is that like an actual thing or just metaphorical? Interesting. Definitely adds a lot of I'm clicking the wrong things. It definitely is more like mystery than I thought it was. I thought it was mostly horror, but it seems more on the mystery detective work side of stuff. Very cool. The main character saved the boy who turns out to be a killer. Okay. Oh, okay. And when it's like saying that they brought him back to life, it's like they didn't actually bring him back to life. They just saved him on the brink of death. which makes sense. Very cool. When did you end up watching it? I know you've said it for a while, right? But did you watch it recently, right? The more I look back on it, the less I understood what Rika-chan was saying. So I mean, I'm the one who brought... Okay, that makes sense then. Not only did she know about Takano-san and Tomitake-san's deaths, but she spoke of them as if she were a concerned party. After all this time in my futon, I began to tremble fiercely. Had I been lured in by Rika-chan's sweet smile and told her things I shouldn't have? I should have continued to feign ignorance. I shouldn't have shown her such a weak side of me. My emotions are a mix of regret and fear, and it colored the darkness of night with an additional layer of terror. Suddenly, a knock. I might have yelped. That's how surprised I was.
圭一、さっきから呼んでるぞ。電話だ。園崎さんから。
Is it Mion or Shion, though? Watching it about early last year, we didn't finish it about New Year's. Oh, wow, okay. Also, an entire year, damn. I guess you space it out well. It was Dad. I reached out for the cordless phone through the gap in my door.
園崎さんって、どっち？姉？妹？
そんなのは知らん。自分で出て聞きなさい。
I took the receiver and buried myself in my futon again.
もしもし、ミオンか？シオンか？
私です。
She did call back.
シオンです。こんばんは。
I practically jumped out of bed. It was Shion, who I hoped so desperately would call me back last
シオン！
night.
ゆうべはすまなかった。つい興奮して。
I heard what sounded like a deep sigh on the other end.
俺もシオンも同じ立場なんだよな。一方的に責めるような言い方をして悪かった。もうしない。謝るから機嫌を直してくれ。
機嫌を直したから電話したんです。後悔したなら許してあげますから。もう謝るのをやめてください。
Shion's tone still sounded a little angry, but for the moment she said she'd forgive
ケイ
me.
ちゃんの言うように、私たちは運命共同体なんです。互いの無事の確認が自分たちの安全の唯一の保証なんです。
ああ、それについては同感だ。
I know for the Monster was 74 episodes. I couldn't binge it. That's why it took me. Oh, wow. Man, 74 episodes. I didn't realize it was that long. I mean, that's still... I mean, most anime is like 12 episodes, you know? So that is still pretty long in anime terms. Only like occasionally you have like the really long ones. Gulp. I forced myself to swallow a solid drop of saliva.
昨日の続きを話します。もう怒らないで聞いてくれますよね。
ああ、大丈夫だ。
まず、私たちが思っている以上に、最後殿に忍び込んだことは禁忌、タブーだったみたいです。
Takano-san and Tomitake-san's miserable ends, terrible enough that you could call them a warning. They were more than enough to make me believe that.
犯人たちは、最後殿を怪我した首謀格のあの二人を殺し、次に私たち
So
を
does she not know about the mayor?
否定したいでしょうが、これを認めてください。失踪してから認めても、もう遅いんですよ。
Go to a casino? I think casino is a place where you go to lose money. I don't think you... I mean, unless you're like... I guess those are losers' words, right? It's like if you're a winner, you just win in a casino. That's fair. You know what? You got me there, Indie Man. You got me there.
わかってるって。用心に越したことはないからな。
私も、本当は認めたくありません。あんな拷問道具の博覧会を覗き見したことが、あんな殺され方をする理由になるなんて、絶対に信じたくない。
That's what a taboo is. For those who honor it, if one breaks the taboo, no matter how small or innocent their intentions were, they wouldn't be forgiven.
互いに何か気に
you
なる
watched
こ
it
と
that
があ
many
ったら
times?
報告し合いましょう。
Even though you're gonna be reading the light novel soon?
互いの持つ小さ
Yeah,
な断
Dinah
片を
was
合わ
telling
せ
me
ていけば
yesterday that like one of her favorite characters is like her favorite character is Rika, and now she has Rika as one of her favorites as well from Chunibyo.
過去の連続事件を解決する鍵が見つかるかもしれません。
What have you been reading, Indie Man? How have you been, by the way? How was your day? What'd you do today? I didn't ask.
そうだな。確かにそうだ。
Probably because he's Lelouch's voice actor. Oh, really? Interesting. I think I probably did see that at some point. Usually I have a habit of, you know, when we just look at stuff in anime, or just, yeah, on my anime list, I always have the voice actors, and usually just scroll through, so I think I probably have seen that at some point. Won't tell, and I said guess. I don't know. The Five Nights at Freddy's books. I don't know what they're called. That's what I'm guessing. Oh, yeah. Okay, Absolute Batman. Yes, yes. I remember us talking about this last time. You will pay for that offense. Listen, you told me to guess, and I guessed, okay? All I was doing was waiting in fear, but Shion had already thought that far ahead. Okay. Given how trustworthy she felt, I became embarrassed over how passive I was being. What was your favorite part so far?
まずは言い出した私から。
I don't know, where Batman... Like, okay, if you want me to guess, it's where Batman beats someone up. That's the best thing I could think of. Sorry, but I just think I want to watch this one, read it. Okay, makes sense. When Freddy did the Fazbear move
最近
from
誰かに
Fortnite?
監視さ
Actually,
れてい
not
るような気
really.
がします。
え？
と言っても気のせいかもしれません。でも一応報告します。今は気のせいだと思っていますけど、もしもケイちゃんも同じようにこれは気のせいじゃないのかもしれませんから。
そういうことなら安心しろ。少なくとも俺の方は大丈夫だ。
I think. As I spoke with Shion, I thought back on today. I had no grounds to say that everything was
そうで
fine.
すか。では気のせいということにしますが、ケイちゃんも注意してください。特に一人で表を歩くときは、
Really, only fan
細心の注意
translations?
を払ってく
That's
ださい。
that's wild.
私
How
は
long
沖
is
縄
it?
ですから一人きりになること
No
はそう
physical
そうあり
copies
ま
in
せんが、
English. Okay.
ケイちゃんはひなみ沢です。一人ぼっちになることも多いはずです。特に注意してください。
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
そうだな。ああ、気をつけるよ。
それからお姉なんですが、何か変わった様子はありませんか？
お姉ってミオンのことか？変わった様子ってどういうことだ？
先日私お姉に渡流しの夜の所在について問いただされました。
え？それは俺もだよ。一昨日かな。ミオンに聞かれた。
やっぱりですか。私は言ってないと答えました。
It's where Batman challenges Bane by broadcasting on every screen in Gotham. Then the May says on a press conference there'll be no fight. Then tell the police. Oh, okay. So it's like it's just 1v1 with Batman and Bane with nobody, with no interruptions. Wait, Team Batman and Team Bane? So why are there like teams now?
ケイちゃんは
同じだよ。ごまかした。
Both of us gave a quiet sigh of
渡
relief.
流しの晩以降、お姉の様子はおかしいです。用心に越したことはありませんので、注意してくださいね。
Mion was acting strangely. Aside from her asking me about the night of the Watanagashi, she hadn't seemed too out of the ordinary, at least from my point of view. Her twin sister, though, was saying she was acting weird. Maybe it was such a slight change that a stranger like me wouldn't be able to notice. Because Bane can grow 200 feet tall. That doesn't seem like a fair fight. Then 200 feet tall Bane versus like normal size Batman. Unless like Batman rigged the stadium to fall on Bane. That could be an option. The only light novel I've ever read, like fully, actually no, I've read two light novels. I've read the Overlord light novel, and I've read the what is it? Baka to Test, light novel. Those are the two I've read. A Skyscraper he did at the start? Well, yeah, okay, that's fair then. That's fair.
少し用心するよ。帰り道は必ずレナも一緒だから、二人きりになるってこともそうそう
But
ない
I
し
usually can't just go straight into a light novel. Like, if anything, it would probably have to be, you know, something that I'm interested in already, and then have to go into the light novel.
用心してください。
It's not like that good, honestly. I would not recommend it.
気になることがあったら
It's like
教えてくださいね。
it's a comedy romance. So if you're into that sort of thing, maybe you would like it. I definitely liked those things a lot more in the past. But at least now I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're into that thing, maybe you would enjoy it.
わかった。
Is he gonna tell her the thing about that happened with Rika today?
では、ケイちゃんの方では何か私に話すことはありませんか？
My turn. That's right. Maybe I should report on Uishi-san asking me the same question at the library.
ケイちゃんが逃げ遅れたあの時の話ですね。
ああ、大石さんにかなり強い口調で聞かれたよ。あの晩、高野さんたちと一緒にいなかったか、シオンに会わなかったかって。大石さんは、俺たちが4人一緒にいたところを見ていたようだった。
警察にしてみれば、高野さんたちが最後に会った人間ということになりますからね。私たちに興味を持つのは、ある意味当然でしょうね。
こっちもごまかしたけど、かえって興味を持たれたかもしれない。
There was no way I could have tricked that sly old fox Oishi-san. And he has 100-foot tall crocodile. That's a tall crocodile then, because crocodile, like, the fact that if it's 100-foot tall crocodile, crocodiles are usually like, you know, they're very long, but in terms of height, they're very like, not a tall creature. So the fact that they're 100 feet tall, that is a huge crocodile then, for it to be half of Bane's height. It's killer. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Why is crocodile half his height then? Because crocodile is usually massive. Knowing the anime helps me visualize the text. I agree with that. So are you not interested in Manifold Time anymore? Because I remember that you were saying, oh yeah, you read the first book and you were looking to read the others, but are you just never going to read other books, Dainea? My troubled countenance would have only made him even more
なあ、
certain.
シオン。警察なら
Because he was once a man.
行っちゃっても
Okay.
いいんじゃないのか？むしろ俺たちの状況を思えば、警察を味方につけるのはプラスだと思うぞ。
Shion didn't answer right away. For a few moments, all I could hear was her breathing as she thought about it.
そういえば大石さんは、ミオンに何らかの嫌疑がある、なんて言ってたような気がする。うん。確かにそう言ってた。
昨日も話しました通り、園崎家はひなみ沢に強い影響力を持っています。
Why'd she say Harley Quinn fart comic guy now? Why? I'm pretty sure there was something like that, but what's the reason for bringing it up here? She doesn't fight, so what is her role then as Harley Quinn?
大石は一連の連続開始事件を園崎本家が中心になった村ぐるみの犯行だと疑っていますから。
園崎家が中心になった村ぐるみの犯行？
Please don't get angry like you did yesterday and just listen. I hammered that home before I got too upset.
ひなみ沢のダム闘争の時、リーダーシップを期待された神主があまりに日和見だったので、園崎本家が首謀格になって決起したんです。
I know, like, I've obviously not read, but, like, I've heard some Stephen King short stories. And I know, like, you know, Stephen King is, like, what do they call him? Like, the grandfather of... No, not the just probably the... Yeah, actually, yeah, the grandfather of horror. How he's, like, just so... Like, he is literally synonymous with every horror writing. So you've definitely heard some things in passing as well from like just his famous works. He's also semi on Team Batman. I mean, I feel like there's some Harley Quinns that are usually like that. Also, since all these people are here, Gotham PD really suck at keeping people out. I mean, is there anything new with Gotham PD? Like, I feel like that's in every single timeline as well.
戦いの歴史についてはお姉から聞いてますよね。
ああ。ひなみ沢全体で一丸となって戦ったんだろう。
Like, I feel like every single time Gotham PD never does anything.
デモをしたり、裁判に訴えたり、テレビに出たり。
Oh, are they really set in a shared universe? I didn't know that. Like, his longer books or like even his short stories, do you know?
実際はもっともっと過激なこともたくさん行われたんです。園崎本家が水面下で様々な違法な抵抗活動を行ったと言われてます。
違法な抵抗活動？
Absolute Joker? Why? What does he look like?
例え
Or
ば
what is it? Yeah, what does his
夜中
design
に建設現場に忍び
include?
込み、機材を盗んだり壊したり、建設重機のガソリンタンクに角砂糖を入れたりとか。
Sugar cubes in the gasoline tanks. Does that cause an explosion or does that just cause it to break the machines?
ガソリンタンクに砂糖？
Oh, look, I'm first. Wow, Diana. Wow, you came in just like very first person in stream. Wow. I mean, technically you were, but it's funny that it was redeemed an hour 30 minutes later.
知らないんですか？
Yeah, I know we have Diana's video to do before stream ends.
戦争中にフランスの地下組織なんかがやった典型的なゲリラ活動ですよ。砂糖を入れると
Not far
エンジン
from...
が焦げつ
Okay.
いて壊れちゃうんですよ。
I have no videos... Okay, yes. I'll make sure to Google him. As well. Once we reach a stopping point here. That's pretty bad though, isn't it? I guess, yeah, all it does... Okay, the engine gets burnt out and... But I don't understand... Why sugar? What chemical reaction does sugar do that breaks the engine? It was destruction of property and nothing
建
less.
設現場への監視が強化されると、今度は工事の重要な立場にある人間への攻撃
Yeah,
が
yeah, just a
進行され
picture. I'll
ま
just look at a picture. But I want to, you know, get through this. Because I don't want to stall... I don't want to be stalling a lot, you know? Because I'm already talking with chat a lot, but I don't want to be stalling more than I have to. So when I get to the end, that's when I'll do it. Was it a real concept art? When did I ask? What was peon again? For what?
それは県
It's
庁の
just
役
yellow.
人だけでな
Oh
く、
yeah, well I
建
mean,
設庁の
you
偉い
know,
役人にまで及んだそうです。
I don't know the process that they went through, okay? So I was just asking a question.
聞いた話では、子供の誘拐まで
Damn, okay, Mion, I didn't know your family was like that.
誘拐？
It's yellow. Well, I don't know if she got... What is it, like... What is that sick... Is it gangrene? Yeah, I don't know if Mion got gangrene, okay? Or like the sickness that turns your skin yellow. Or is it jaundice? No, it's jaundice, I think. Yeah, I don't know if Mion got jaundice. Okay? I don't know if that was canon Higurashi lore.
ええ。建設省の日並沢ダムを担当する偉い人の子供が神隠しにあったんですよ。で、ある日突然、日並沢のもっと上流の高津戸の山中で保護されまして、犯行
Wait,
声
where
明
did
は
they
な
even
か
get
ったっ
the
て言
kid
われて
from?
るんで
Because
す
I
け
thought
ど、
the like parents would be
ダム
far
工
away
事を中止するように
from
と
where the
脅
family
迫
would
があっ
be.
たのではないかと囁かれています。他にも枚挙にいとまがないほどの脅迫の話があります。
Yeah.
それは確かに
Who's
ちょっとやばい
John?
な。
It's John. He's him.
そんな最中だったんですよ。第一の事件。現場監督のバラバラ殺人があったのは。
Oh, okay, and then, yeah. I can see why Oishi-san would be suspicious of them.
園崎家が主犯格の男を買収したのではと囁かれてますが、何しろ今日も逃走中ですからね。
When she put it that way, the Sonozaki family definitely seems suspicious.
犯人も口封じで消したんじゃないかって大石は思ってるみたいです。当然ですね。
Hunts kidnap people on a deserted island and consumes them. Is he like super rich in this timeline or what? Like, how does he get people on a deserted island?
身内である私ですら
Yes, okay. Oh, so it's like him and Batman just swap roles there. That's interesting.
それを俺に信じろってのか？ミオンの園崎本家がそんな悪いことをやってきたと信じろというのか？
ケイちゃんが信じなくても村人たちは信じてます。自分たちが綺麗な抵抗運動をする陰で園崎家が汚い抵抗運動をしてくれた。自分たちの矢面に立って戦ってくれたんだってみんな思ってます。ですからちょっとしたダークヒーローとして崇められているんですよね。
Yeah, I know you were telling me about the Justice League is the evil side, or at least the villains are in the Justice League.
私が知っているのは本当に一部だけだと思います。例えば誘拐なんかの特にヤバい話は当主のバッジを含めほんの数人しか知らされてないと思います。園崎家は秘密主義ですから。
Okay.
秘密主義か。
A family so unforthcoming that even Shion, who is related to them, doesn't know everything about them. The Sonozaki family. Unlike Shion, her older twin Mion was deeply involved with everything, and that was not a fun thought to entertain. So I don't understand, why are they in different...
違法な抵抗運動の中心として年少
Why
な
are
が
they
ら
in
活
different
躍したの
houses though?
が
That's what I
お
don't
姉でした。
get.
ミオンがどういうことだよ。
うちのお父さん、ヤクザの大物ですから。年少のお姉でも若い柄の悪いのを何人も
Damn, Mion, okay.
様々な嫌がらせや妨害をやってのけたんです。
ミオンが
今はなんだかのんびりした雰囲気だから想像もつかないでしょうが、器物破損から脅迫、暴行まで一通りこなして何度も補導されたんですよ。子供ですからすぐに釈放してもらえたみたいです。
She went to prison multiple times? I didn't know you were hard like that, Mion. Holy.
お姉は自分の年齢が武器になることを知ってたみたいです。
It may have been indiscreet, but I couldn't help but chuckle dryly. She may have been young, but she was certainly still Mion. Even back then, she already had been known for her craftiness.
笑い事じゃない
I
で
guess
す。
that's the point. She's a minor, so she's like, yeah, I'll be released early.
真剣になってください。
悪い。そんなつもりじゃ。
Shion had gotten pretty angry at me.
そんな不良娘だったお姉もいつの間にか園崎本家の重鎮。大石がバラバラ殺人以降の事件を疑いたくなるのもまあ無理ないことです。
Doing things the same and how things are supposed to be. And what is their idea on how things are supposed to be? For a few moments, I was dumbstruck at the tales of Mion's past. None of them matched the image I had of her. A younger Mion dirtying her hands with all sorts of crimes, giving the dam construction project hell. As the successor to the Sonozaki main family, she was always right at the center of the vortex of strange incidents occurring year after year. Was that really the Mion I know? Maybe the one I know isn't the real Mion. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't bring myself to accept these images of Mion I was hearing from another person.
まあ話を戻します。お姉が注意に値する存在であることは理解してもらえたと思います。
I mean, just in the sense of keeping things the same and how things are, okay, in their control. Okay. Fair, fair. And why do they call it the Justice League then? Like, is it their sense of justice, or is there, like, you know, another sense of justice in terms, like, I know you said it's their justice keeping things the same and how things are supposed to be, but do they see keeping things the norm as justice, or something like keeping other people down as justice, or something else?
注意してください。
I didn't want to be understood. Or I didn't want to understand. Mion was a fantastic friend. She would never do something to back me into a corner like that. She did ask me pretty harshly about the night of the festival, but even that, it wasn't like she said it in a mean way or anything.
わかった。 気をつけるようにするよ。
私とお姉は血のつながった姉妹ですが、園崎家にあってはまるで格が違うんです。私とはとても遠い存在だということを認識してください。
Then why was she acting like that around Shion the entire time?
お願いします。
The more Shion tells me about Mion, the less I understand who Mion is. The Mion I know wasn't a dangerous person. She joked around, smiled a lot, and was full of passion. Now that I'd realized I had such a view towards her, Shion was telling me to change it. To be careful around the best friend ever. To doubt her. The idea was very sad and painful.
で、大石の件ですが、ケイちゃんがいいと判断するなら、必要な情報を与えてもいいと思います。
Don't do it, Keiichi! Listen to Rika! She said just keep meowing! Don't do
やは
anything!
り警察を味方につけるのは、私たちに有利に働くと思います。
やっぱりシオンもそう思うか？
ただ、今説明した通り、園崎の人間はそもそも警察に睨まれているんです。特に大石は、園崎家が丸ごと連続事件の黒幕だと決めてかかってますからね。それはもちろん私も含めてです。ですから、私はあまり大石には関わりたくないんです。
Rika Meep we trust, we'll see. I see. If Oishi-san had found out about the Sonozaki family's strife-filled history, then he probably wouldn't be very happy with Shion either. Just in the sense of being fair in a world where fair is a little uneven. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, and they don't want other people like rising up above them. I see. Understandable. At last, I understood Mion's instinctive dislike for
どう
Oishi-san.
せバレてはいるんですが、一応私の名前を伏せておいてください。それだけ守ってくれれば、大石には何を話しても問題ないと思います。
わかった。伏せるようにするよ。
警察の捜査力は、今の私たちにはとても心強い武器になると思います。大石が興味深い話をしたら、
So,
私にも聞かせてくださいね。
I feel like Keiichi should tell Shion here about Rika. And then see what she says, but...
ああ、もちろんだ。情報は互いに交換し、研究し合おう。高野さんたちを殺したのは誰なのか。そして俺たちを狙うのは誰なのか。それがわかるまで、俺たちは自衛しなくてはならない。
あとはありますか？大石に聞かれたこと以外は、身に起こったことは、どんな些細なことでも教えてください。
Aside from my discussion with Oishi-san? Oh. Should I tell her that I revealed everything to Rika-chan? Rika-chan was acting like she knew something I didn't. She told me to leave it to her, but what? Oh, that's right. When I was talking to her, I mentioned Shion's name too. Was that a mistake? Felt like Shion would get angry.
何もないんですか？ケイちゃん？
I remained quiet for a little while, so Shion encouraged me to speak, unable to bear the silence.
と。
As I struggled with what to say, Shion addressed me instead.
ないようでしたら、私から聞きたいんですけど、私もついさっき聞いたんですが、君吉のおじいちゃんが行方不明になったって、本当ですか？
The old man Kimiyoshi? My gut told me it was the name of the
村
mayor.
長さんのことか？なんだシオン、聞いてないのか？
何も知らないです。お父さんが電話でそう話してるの、また盗み聞いただけですから。
It's just kind of complicated. I need to read their their exclusive comic first before more details. Like the Absolute Justice League comic, or like a different comic, like the Joker or the Bane one. Which one are you talking about in specific? I realized I shouldn't have said that. Here on Hinamizawa, the things that happened around this time, when Oyashiro-sama's curse would recur, would all be covered up.
実はな、昨べ会合の後、家に帰ってこないとかで、ひなみ沢中で大騒ぎになっ
It's
たん
called
だ。
Absolute Evil.
村中で探したみたいだけど、まだ見つかったって話は聞かないな。警察も探してるはずなんだけど。
なんでそんな大事な話を先にしてくれなかったんですか？
She shouted angrily at me, bringing all her emotion to bear.
悪い。もう知ってると思ってたんだよ。隠す気なんかなかった。
The receiver was silent. Did Shion get mad again and hang up?
おい、シオン、もしもし？
ケイちゃん、私、どうしよ
What? Shion's tiny, confused voice sounded like it belonged to a different person than the one yelling a few seconds ago.
話せよ。俺たちの間で隠し事はなしだろ？
Keiichi, you're literally keeping a secret from her. Shion hesitated for a long while, but then she confessed.
隠すつもりはなかったんです。ちょっと言うのが前後したっていうか。
俺たちは仲間だろ。怒ったりしないから正直に話せよ。
Shion still hesitated for a few moments. Then, in a resigned voice, she continued.
私、君吉のおじいちゃんに打ち明けたんです。
Shion seemed to think I would yell at her right after she said that, so I heard her catching her breath. Contrary to what she thought, I was a little relieved. Shion had done the same thing I had when I confessed everything to Rika-chan. So, in as a gentle voice I could, to not set her off, I
君
responded.
吉のじいさんってのは、シオンにとって相談できる心安い人なんだろ？
はい。私のことを小さい頃から本当に可愛がってくれて。
Okay, sure, I'll look it up, Let me see. If you're, yeah, I don't want you to fall asleep. Wow, that's not what I expected. Damn, he's literally a beast. What is that? Okay, when he said absolute Joker, I understood like, oh yeah, it's Joker. This is not what I was expecting. This is entirely different. That is crazy. It's the joke. Yeah, I guess so. Some of that is fan art. Oh, okay, I see. Which one is the actual one then? Like, which one is this the actual one? This one? I'm guessing this is fan art. I'm guessing this is fan art as well. Dude, how do you even, like, keep something contained? Top. Okay, so this is actual Joker. Okay. Damn. She had a different kind of strength from Miona, and as she continued, her voice sounded truly sad and pained.
いつも意地悪なことをしてたのに、いつもニコニコと笑って。
Contained? Like, this is his mugshot, right? How does the Gotham PD keep something like this in prison? Like this is, if this is his mugshot, right? I don't know how they keep something. That was not official. Oh, okay, I see.
私の言うことは何でも聞いてくれて、本当に優しい人だったのに。
落ち着けよ、シオン。別に死んでしまったわけじゃないだろ。そんな簡単に諦めるなよ。
Shion didn't answer. Even as I said myself, I didn't think we'd find the missing mayor again. We probably wouldn't even figure out if he was alive or dead. Shion must have been thinking the same thing.
村長さんに、私、あの晩、最後でに忍び込んだこと、誰かにそれを見られてて、私たちを狙っている人がいるって。
Someone saw us?
村長さんは、高野さんたちがまともじゃない死に方をしたのを
Also, that
知ってるのか？
someone saw us and was out to get us? Like, wait, is she talking about that night as in the night we snuck in? Or last night when the mayor went missing? Absolute Lex Luthor is here. Okay. Absolute Joker can become that or a normal man.
はい。
He could just decide that as will, or is it at will, or is it random?
知っていました。あの二人がお社様のたたりで死んだから。
Okay, no, this is
私は
after.
その怒りを鎮める生贄にされるんじゃないかって本当に率直に言いました。
ああ、それで
君吉のおじいちゃん、怒らなかった。そしてにっこり笑って、しおんちゃんがちゃんと反省してるなら鬼隠しになんかなるものかって、本当に笑いながら任せなさい。
Wait. Rika said the same thing. What are you saying, Daine? Until Shion stopped sobbing, I was unable to find any words for her. I couldn't imagine what kind of person the mayor was, nor what Shion's relationship with him was like. Yeah, okay, sure. You know what? Sure, Daine. Words of comfort, however, mean so much to us when we're about to be crushed by anxiety. Today, Rika-chan taught me that too. If someone who gave me such a sense of security were to disappear, then I could guess what kind of shock Shion was in. Keiichi! Put the 2 and 2 together! She literally spelled it out for you! And then tell her!
打ち明けてしまったから。
よせよ、シオン。シオンのせいじゃないよ。
私のせいなんです。私が打ち明けてしまったから。君吉のおじいちゃんが知ってしまったから。だから殺されてしまったに違いないんです。だって打ち明けてすぐなんですよ。打ち明けて大丈夫って言ってくれてその晩に消えてしまった。
Rika's gonna disappear tonight then. He found out. So he became involved.
話すんじゃなかった。これは全部私たち4人の咎だったはず。他人に話してはいけないことだったんです。話したから殺されてしまった。知ったから殺されてしまった。打ち明けたから殺されてしまった。
おい、待てよ。そんな奴なら打ち明けた村長を殺す前にお前から先に殺すに決まってるじゃないか。
Keiichi's always yelling in his house, right? I cannot imagine these doors and like these walls and doors and floors are thick enough to like muffle his yelling entirely. There's absolutely no way that his parents are not here, should not be hearing all this.
順番が違うよ。殺されるなら俺かシオンが先。他の奴らが先に死んだりするものか。
順番はあります。私たちを一番最後に殺すつもりに違いないんです。
は？なんだって？
人思いに殺さないで、親しい人たちから順々に殺していって、散々悲しい思いをさせた後に殺す、そういう狙いに違いないんです。
落ち着けって。シオンは今ショックを受けてパニックを起こしてるだけなんだよ。村長の失踪はシオンとは関係ない。無関係だ。高野さんたちの死とも全く関係ないんだ。
My words came out as a scream, as if I was shouting them at myself.
だけあります。絶対にそうなんです。私が話したから殺されてしまった。知ったから殺されてしまった。打ち明けたから殺されてしまった。
She repeated the same thing as before, as though she were in delirium. Despite my trying to console the crazed Shion, for some reason, the shadow at my feet began to freeze. From that shadow, a cold arm reached out, so cold it would seem like it would freeze even my heart just by touching me, and grabbed my ankle. The heat generated by my body, the arm was absorbing it. It was a horrible chill. A freezing cold, numbingly frigid. It was an inviolable, I don't know, chill of fear. Though I sympathized with Shion, I'd been naive in thinking it was something only she had to worry about. In my head, Shion's eerie words repeated again and again. He was killed because I told him. He was killed because he found out. I confessed everything. So he was killed. Those words echoed through my head like a monotone mantra. And finally, those even repetitions took on meaning. The quiet shaking that had already overtaken me turned into a violent shiver that shot up my spine.
リカちゃんだ。
今、なんて言ったんですか？
俺も実は打ち明けたんだ。リカちゃんに今日。
リカちゃんってリカちゃまのことですか？フルデ神社のリカちゃま？
そうだよ、リカちゃんだよ。俺もどうしようもなく不安で打ち明けたんだ。
Yeah, I mean, his parents, I agree. He yelled out that he's gonna be killed, or like, no, he said something about like taking his own life, or like if he said if I die then blah 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 blah, like something else, and then his parents were like, oh, okay. And then they were like kind of sussed out, but then they didn't care after that.
リカちゃんに。
そうしたら、リカちゃまはなんて。
The cat is worrying too much. I'll do something about it for sure. That's what Rika-chan said, and then she smiled. She smiled just like the missing mayor had when he encouraged Shion.
ごめん、シオン。俺、ちょっとリカちゃんのことが心配になっちゃって。
はい、そんなに心配でしたら、ぜひ電話を。安否を確認してみてください。
ああ、そうさせてもらう。
また明日も、このくらいの時間に連絡します。それをもって、私の安否確認としてください。
わかった、待ってる。じゃあな、すまん、切るぞ。
I put down the receiver without waiting for Shion to say goodbye. The danger to Shion and myself was secondary at this point. My sixth sense was blaring alarms in my head. I don't like this feeling. It's really bad. It's definitely bad.
無事でいてくれ、リカちゃん。
Is that where it ends for today? Yep. Okay. Let's watch your video, Diana, before the tips. I just realized she looks exactly like one of the girls from Date Alive, doesn't she? Full screen? Okay. Like, I never realized that up until now. Is that who she's probably designed based off that character. Wait, what? Why does that look like female Kirito as well? Yeah, the bandage on her eye and then like the other color as well. Oh, wait, okay, yeah, it is. Okay, it is just in her imagination. Okay. She is trying. She's really trying her best. Oh, she got hit with the ladle. Why does she have a did she have the bandage there before? Or did she just grow a bandage out of her head when she got hit? You would not think that's like Lelouch has a very distinct voice. More scrapbook stuff. The three families in modern times. As previously described, the three families council today is a mere shell of democracy. In reality, it is a dictatorship run by the Sonozaki family. Both the Kimiyoshi and Furude families are far from their former glory, and it doesn't seem at all like they've maintained the ancient traditions. Wait! Because Kimiyoshi was the guy who was the leader from before, and Rika is the leader of her family now. So both the leaders are gonna go missing? Is that like what they're trying to set up here? Only the Sonozaki family has retained their glory from the past and has inherited many colorful traditions from the age known as Onigafuchi village. Even the most recent verifiable examples of Watanagashi that occurred at the end of the Meiji era seems to have been done under the orders of the Sonozaki family. Refer to the three-family genealogical tree from late Meiji. Yeah, don't worry. I'll watch it in a bit, Ruben. At the start of the Meiji era, the Sonozaki family wanted to push the development of Hinamizawa. They took a strong role in leadership. I appreciate... No, I think it definitely adds a lot if they animate what happens in her mind. Because it's get to show the character. During the dam wars a few years ago, the Kimiyoshi family served as the chair of the opposition alliance, but this was a name only. In actuality, the Sonozaki family reigned as leader behind the scenes. People whisper that perhaps the Kimiyoshi family dictated acts of opposition that could be publicized, and the Sonozaki family enacted those which could not. Even in Hinamizawa, they whisper that the multitude of unsettling incidents reported during the dam protests, such as the kidnapping of the famous head of Ministry of Construction's son, had been carried out by the Sonozakis. Additionally, they say that perhaps the Sonozaki family's secrets maneuvering was responsible for the serial freak death incidents that have continuously occurred in recent years as well. Serial freak death incidents are without a doubt the second coming of the traditional Watanagashi. It must be reenacting the Watanagashi on the day of the original Watanagashi, which has fallen on to the level of an ordinary village festival, in order to remind the villagers of the holy laws of the Onigafuchi village. It is safe to assert that exploring the Sonozaki family is the fastest route for researching it today. If I can expose the contents of the Furude Shrine storehouse, I'd like to narrow my research target to the Sonozaki family next. The Sonozaki house is strictly guarded by security cameras on the premises, but thankfully, I've become acquainted with the sisters Mion, the next heir, and Shion. I want this to be a breakthrough that I can connect to my next line of research. Dude, it generally feels like Takano is like a government agent or something like that, researching this. Like, what is this? Yeah, when it cuts back to... Yeah, no, it definitely adds a lot. They did good in adapting that.
いえいえ、気にしないでくださいよ。この店でおでんを食べるとですね、なぜか年計のガソリンスタンドの請求書に化けちゃうんですよ。だから遠慮しないでもう一杯飲んでいけばいいのに。
What? That makes absolutely no sense. The man, red-faced, waved his hand to say that he'd had enough, and disappeared into the brilliant neon lights in front of the station.
クマちゃんも勉強しといてくださいよ。謙虚な人が結局一番長生きするんです。
さっきの話、本当っすかね？
さて、それはわからないですけどね。真偽はともかく、そういう話がまことしやかに流れてるってことには意味があると思いますよ。
そんなのが村長を狙う動機になりうるんすかね？
クマちゃん、いつも言ってるでしょ。動機っていうのは、その本人に十分でありさえすれば足りるんです。価値観の違いをよく考えなくちゃ。あ、お母さん、もう一杯ください。
Though we have been suppressing the information, Tomitake and Takano's deaths were already known throughout Hinamizawa. All of the rumors pointed to them having incurred the wrath of Oyashiro-sama for setting foot in the Forbidden Temple, the storehouse for ritual implements. But how do you know that, Oishi? Because you saw us on the stone steps. You didn't see this. According to the rumors, there were two other people who went in there with them. Shion Sonozaki and Keiichi Maebara. People were whispering in the shadows that those two would be cursed by Oyashiro-sama as well. However, the responsibility didn't fall solely on the four trespassers' shoulders. Until last year, it was locked up tight, but this year had been changed to a simpler lock. Hadn't that been what allowed thieves to enter so easily? Those were the rumors going around.
クマちゃんは見たことありませんか？私はずいぶん前に何かのようで行った時に見たことをよく覚えてますよ。
すみません。ちょっと思い出せないっす。
It feels like he's kind of, the fact he's a character that shows up this often, it feels like he's somewhat important.
そりゃもう、おっかないくらいに厳重に施錠してありましてね。まるで大金庫みたいに厳重な蔵だったんですよ。
Tomita and Okamura don't either. I guess that's fair. It feels like they don't show up often. I still don't know what that, you said not to think about it much, but that thing that showed up in my recommended with the Hinamizawa disaster, and it shows all the, like, students dead in a pile. There's still that thing that showed up in my recommended that, like, kind of spoiled something that I have no clue what that is. It's nothing! This year, it was a very simple and cheap padlock. The lone girl protecting the shrine, Rika Furude, disliked the heavy locks and consulted with the mayor, but replaced it with a simpler
だ
padlock.
から村長とフルでリカも同罪ってことなんですか？だとしたら村長に続いてフルでリカもまずいじゃないですか。
That's why they're getting targeted! Not because they confided in them, but because both of them decided to make the locks easier, like simpler to get in, which is why they broke it in the first place. That's why they're disappearing. Oh my gosh.
その可能性は大ですね。ひなみ座を巡回している覆面者に至急連絡。フルデ神社近辺に張り付かしてください。
了解っす。
Are they gonna stick near the Furude shrine and then Keiichi's gonna pull up and then they're gonna arrest him or something? Where's the Men in Black? Why when we need it? Yep, if only we had that. If only we had that. Okay. It's not important, trust me. Uh-huh. Alright. Well, yeah, I'm going to be departing now, though. I think this is a good place to end off. I don't want to start up a new chapter with all this. Oh, yes, video. Yes, thank you, thank you. Can you play your video? Dude, what is that? Yeah, I can hear Lelouch there, yes. Is that how he actually introduced himself, or is that how he's imagining accidentally doing it? I can hear Lelouch in there, though. It is, But it's funny, because I can kind of hear Lelouch, but also not really, because it's him, he's acting not to actually sound like Lelouch, but trying to be someone trying to pretend he's Lelouch type of vibe. Which is cool. It actually did happen in the past. Okay. Funny. Okay. Well, with that, that'll be it from me then for today. Let's hope nothing bad happens to Rika, but judging with what's happening, it seems like something is going to happen to her, which we'll be very sad about, and we're gonna cry. We're going to be crying the entire night after Rika dies, or disappears, or whatever. And then Keiichi is gonna find, and then Shion's gonna disappear, and then Keiichi's gonna disappear as well, and then that'll be the end of chapter 2. And then we'll have to wait till chapter 3 to see how it resets from there. But yeah, thank you to everyone who stopped by. I appreciate it. And I'll be back with more Higurashi when they cry tomorrow.